Right, yeah. You'd end up with, and then you could have, instead of a crew quarters, maybe you have a garage. The robot sleeps in a garage, and you have a couple of robots, and then you just have to replace that one.
Yep.
From time to time if there's any issue, or just eject it. Get rid of it. But that's another thing, is the run to failure strategy. Then the whole idea of maintenance, one may decide not to maintain, I guess, and just make it easy to replace stuff if it breaks.
Absolutely. I think everything has to be up for debate in that space. If I have a robot, there's a give and take, as you said, between I'm going to maintain it to last forever versus I'm going to maintain it, or versus I'm not going to maintain it, let it run to failure and let the next one come through the corridor, right? I mean, I've got visions of the movie I, Robot in my head, where you just load up and another one jumps out that looks identical, right? Quick download of everything this robot's gathered and learned and move on. So I think, and again, I think we're still trying to figure that out, right? Because the reality is it's the environment's what's going to dictate that, right? A robot that's used inside a warehouse, an air-conditioned warehouse, is probably, if physics serves me right, going to be different than, from a maintenance standpoint or a failure standpoint, than a robot that's out in the salty air in the North Sea or in the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah. Well, certainly when you get to design the facility from scratch, you can simplify the design of the robot because you limit the number of tasks it needs to do. Then the challenge with a brownfield facility is it was designed for humans who are very flexible and quite adaptable. So you've got stairs and awkward angles for stuff. You basically need a robot that looks like a human, I guess, to do that.
Yes.
Or a dog. That's the case of Boston
or a
Dynamics.
dog, yes. Well, absolutely. And I think the more degrees of freedom you have, the better, the easier the solution comes, right? Because you can give and take off of both the robot side versus the design side.
That's right.
And my comment earlier around, not really convinced yet that it's a different robot, is I don't think there's been enough application in our brownfield to know really what those things are. There are some that are obvious. Do I really need stairs if I have, robots? Well, are you really going to design a facility with no stairs? Because people will need to go to that facility. How do they get around when they do need to do that maintenance? Or are you truly looking for the self-healing facility that never needs intervention from people? If you're focused towards that, I kind of look at it this way. There are hundreds of production assets for upstream oil and gas. There are hundreds of them around the world. Looking at kind of where we're going from an oil to renewable energies, are we really going to have that many more greenfield, brand new assets coming? And is that really where we want to focus our attention, or is it the brownfield?